Elon Musk's dad, 76, confirms secret second child, with his stepdaughter. DNA tests show child was not driving pickup in Texas crash that killed 9. Woman adds, sex work, to LinkedIn profile, sparks debate, respect it. Why is this different than any other client work? She asked before answering her own question. It isn't. Now, she only works with clients that are respectful, generous and grateful, saying, they don't have to understand it, but they better respect the hell out of it. CNN host demands Republicans be treated as very dangerous to our society. Appearing on CNN's New Day Thursday morning, Don Lemon once again urged the media to hold Republicans to a different standard than Democrats in their media coverage. No sympathy, AOC blasted for complaining about harassment, though she belittled Kavanaugh's harassment. What we know about Texas mom Christina Powell missing for over a week. Missing Texas woman Christina Lee Powell is a previously married mother of 2 boys, who worked as a paralegal and is known for her smarts and her kindness, her loved ones say. But earlier this month, she became known as something new. Long lines are back at U.S. food banks as inflation hits high. The food banks, which had started to see some relief as people returned to work after pandemic shutdowns, are struggling to meet the latest need even as federal programs provide less food to distribute, grocery store donations wane and cash gifts don't go nearly as far. Alex Murdaugh charged with murder in deaths of wife, son. Murdaugh, 54, has repeatedly denied any role in the deaths, saying he was visiting his mother and ailing father and discovered his son and wife slain when he returned to their estate. Russian missiles kill at least 23 in Ukraine, wound over 100. GOP governors mulling 2024 run on rushing abortion laws. In Arkansas, which like South Dakota had an abortion ban immediately triggered by the court's ruling, Governor Asa Hutchinson has said he does not plan to put abortion on the agenda of next month's special session focused on tax cuts. And in Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis, a top potential White House contender also running for re-election, has shied away from detailing whether he will push to completely ban abortions despite a pledge to expand pro-life protections. Italian Premier Draghi's resignation rebuffed by President. Capitol riot hearings raise questions of presidential power. Government and legal experts say the bigger question is, can further limits be put on presidential authority to make sure there are no repeats of 2020 in future administrations? What laws form the basis for the presidential powers in question? There are 2 primary ones: the Insurrection Act, first enacted in 1792, and the National Emergencies Act of 1976. The Insurrection Act is a long-standing presidential power that gives the president wide latitude to use military forces to stop a rebellion or domestic violence. Military forces are normally barred by the Posse Comitatus Act from joining in civilian law enforcement actions. Woman arrested, accused of participating in January 6 attack. Macron, turn out the lights, brace for Russian gas cutoff. Russia is using energy, like it is using food, as a weapon of war, Macron said. We should prepare ourselves for the scenario where we have to go without all Russian gas. Manipulating the society, FETO's information war against Turkey. In a report, FETO Media's pre-July 15 psychological warfare journalism, published by Turkey's Gazi University, said that the tactics of hybrid war were in full force in the process that took Turkey to the night of July 15, 2016. U.S. warns against confrontation as Libya oil firm gets new chief. The U.S. Embassy says it is following developments with deep concern, and stresses that the National Oil Corporation is vital to Libya's stability and prosperity. Libya's National Oil Corporation has largely stayed neutral despite years of division. Mali to suspend UN peacekeeping mission rotations. The decision comes 4 days after Mali arrested 49 Ivorian soldiers it later described as mercenaries, intent on toppling the country's military-led government. UN, EU condemns strikes on central Ukraine city as toll climbs. Missiles hit Vinnytsia in central Ukraine, killing over 20 people including 3 children, as EU officials convene in The Hague to discuss atrocities in Ukraine on the 141st day of fighting. Swedish court hands life term to ex-Iran official over 1988 purge. Former Iranian official Hamid Nuri has been convicted of a serious crime against international law and murder, the Stockholm District Court says. July 15. Turkey's resolve against foreign intervention. Hundreds of thousands of U.S. troops may face dismissal. More than 260,000 American service members could be discharged due to non-compliance with vaccine mandates. RT visits neo-Nazi torture dungeon in Ukraine. Set up at a local school, the base had been used by the Tornado Battalion for mass torture, rape and murder. COVID-19 is too clever for us, WHO tells media. The coronavirus is changing rapidly, causing infections to surge, a special envoy to the Global Health Group has told. Night of the Islamic Revolution. Can Iranian drones help Russia in Ukraine? It is very unlikely that Iran will step up its confrontation with the West just to supply UAVs to Russia, experts say. Civilians killed as Ukraine shells Donetsk. The Donbass Republic's leader says a US-made M777 howitzer was used in the attack. 3 more countries set to join BRICS, official says. The kingdom, along with Turkey and Egypt, may apply next year, the BRICS Forum president told Russian media. Putin signs media discrimination tit-for-tat law. The bill allows the prosecutor general to ban foreign outlets in response to restrictions against Russian media abroad. Ukraine conflict is already a world war, Serbia says. The entire Western world is fighting Russia via Ukraine, Alexander Vucic has said. Iran condemns Sweden court illegal verdict against Iran. Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesman Nasser Kanani says. He argued that instead of responding to the Iranian public opinion about allowing free activity of a terrorist group, the Swedish judicial system is supporting and promoting terrorism in practice. Pakistani airline launches direct Lahore-Mashhad flight. Tehran to host 2 high-profile summits next week. Iran's ambassador in Ankara said that Tehran was going to host Turkish and Russian presidents at 2 high-level summits next week. Biden is vising West Asia, hat in hand, American journal says. President Biden has to go to Saudi Arabia, sort of, we're hearing observers say, hat in hand, to say, we need you to produce more oil, Cohen added. Biden began his West Asia tour on Wednesday. He will visit the occupied Palestine, the West Bank, and then Saudi Arabia. Iran, Iraq sign move to combat dust storm. Thailand calls for boosting trade with Iran. The Iranian official highlighted energy, petrochemicals, agriculture, sciences and medicine sectors for expanding the 2 nations' cooperation on. Sri Lankan president resigns by email after fleeing to Singapore. Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has tendered his resignation in a letter sent by email to Parliamentary Speaker Mahinda Yapa, according to an announcement from the Speaker's office Thursday. Brittany Greener's Russia court appearance ends without a verdict. A former teammate along with the director of UMMC Ekaterinburg, the team for which Griner played in Western Russia during the WNBA off-season, testified at the hearing. Brittany has always been a good teammate, which is why my role here is to support her and be there for her, team captain Evgenia Belyakova said after the hearing. Problems on border with Tajikistan to be resolved. Afghan's Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi has traveled to northeastern Badakhshan province to assess the situation on the border between Tajikistan and Afghanistan. Musa feels everything lost due to addiction to drugs. Noted religious scholar gunned down in Kabul. Noted religious scholar Sada Wali Saqib has been killed by unknown gunmen in the capital Kabul, an official said on Thursday. Jalalabad stinks as animal waste remains unlifted. 4 of a family among 6 shot dead in Logar, Ghazni. At least 6 people have been shot dead in 2 separate incidents in central Logar and southern Ghazni provinces. Ukraine accused Russia of terrorism as missile attack kills 23. Russian missiles struck the city of Vinnytsia in central Ukraine, killing at least 23 people, including 3 children, in what Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called an open act of terrorism. Bodies of migrants who died in Texas truck returned to Mexico. After days of preparation and donations to cover funeral costs, a mountain community in eastern Mexico on Thursday mourned the return of 3 teenagers who were among the 53 migrants who died inside an abandoned truck in southern Texas last month. Ivana Trump, ex-wife of former President Trump, dead at 73.